LEGO Dimensions was officially released 10 years ago, back in 2015. Yes, you heard that right, 10 years ago. In this video, I'll be discussing the tumultuous journey the game had, with its high highs and low lows, going into detail about everything the game had to offer, and ultimately what led to its less than desirable cancellation. Please make sure to watch the full video, as I'll even be discussing some upcoming LEGO sets that tie directly into what was projected for year 3 of the game, showing that this game is still making an impact on modern LEGO in 2025 and beyond. So what's up LEGO fans, it's LEGO Man Cam, and apologies for my voice, I've been a little bit sick this week, but first, let's briefly discuss what LEGO Dimensions was, since the game is quite old at this point. LEGO Dimensions was a Toys to Life video game developed by Traveller's Tales or TT Games, the creators behind all of the classic LEGO games you would know, like the Complete Saga or the LEGO Batman trilogy.
Bruce, it's been 5 years. You still owe me $16.
This game blended a range of LEGO themes together to create a multiverse-hopping RPG where players could travel from Middle-earth to Gotham City and even Springfield. What made this game stand apart from all other LEGO games though, besides this multiversal madness, was the Toys to Life element, which meant you had to buy physical LEGO toys which could be scanned onto the game's toy pad to enter the game. This genre of video games was booming at the time, initially popularized by Skylanders in the early 2010s. Now, did this make the game expensive? Yes. If you wanted to have the game's full roster of characters, you would need to spend upwards of $1,000. However, for those mad collectors like me, it made the hunt way more fun. The game initially released in September of 2015 and had a pretty lengthy promotional period, getting cameos from in-game cast members such as Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown, or even Joel McHale, who would voice the companion robot Expo. Get it? Like Expo? Exposition? Like he would just dump exposition at you? Like all the guides in video games. The game released with a massive first wave spanning a number of the game's initial franchises, where each character from a new franchise would unlock that theme's adventure world for you to explore, essentially a brand new open world full of gold bricks, red bricks, and even some purple studs. For example, buying the Wicked Witch of the West pack would not only allow you to fly and make the game really easy, but you would also be able to unlock the Wizard of Oz adventure world. The game's packs were split into 3 main categories, with fun packs giving you a character and a small build, whether that be a vehicle or a gadget. You would then get team packs, which were essentially 2 fun packs smushed together, such as Owen Grady and an ACU trooper from Jurassic World. Yes, you heard that right, of all the Jurassic Park characters, they chose to use an ACU trooper. And last, you had level packs, which included 1 character and 2 gadgets. However, these unlocked a new level for you to play through, such as Shell from Portal 2, where you could play a full canonical expansion to the game. It was so cool. The game released to pretty good feedback. People were loving the gameplay, hating the expensive price, but I feel like that was kind of granted for a game like this. The game released the rest of its Year 1 expansions over the next few months, bringing in franchises like Doctor Who, Ghostbusters, and then a few missing characters like Superman and Lloyd the Green Ninja. This then left us waiting for Year 2, bringing in 5 new franchises, set to release a bunch more in the coming months. Unlike the first year, we weren't given a full roadmap of where the year was headed. Anyway, Year 2 brought by far the best new levels, adventure worlds, and characters, all of which could still be used on the original game, meaning that you didn't need to buy a new disc or portal like you did with Skylanders and Disney Infinity. We got things called story packs, which were $50 giant add-ons that gave you a full new 6th level story to play through, plus a new build to go over your toy pad. Also, just quickly, if you have seen a few of my videos and enjoy them, please consider subscribing to help us reach our goal of 30,000. It's the best free thing that you can do to help the channel grow. So Year 2 continued on with Waves 7 and 8, which gave us LEGO Sonic for the first time, who now 9 years later is its own fully fledged LEGO theme. We also got packs from the LEGO Batman movie and the Goonies. However, as time went on, the release dates between each wave got pushed further and further back, so much so that Wave 9, which brought us Beetlejuice, the Powerpuff Girls, and Teen Titans Go, released in September of 2017, which was the usual time we'd get the next year of packs. Did this mean it was the end of the theme? Had LEGO Dimensions actually been cancelled? Yes. LEGO put out an official statement announcing the cancellation, but with the rapid death of other Toys to Life games like Disney Infinity a year earlier, and Skylanders announcing that Imaginators would be its last hurrah, LEGO Dimensions could unfortunately not withstand this dying genre. Fortunately, this meant that packs were going out dirt cheap. I'm talking like $5, which was like 70% off, but sadly, that was it. LEGO Dimensions was no more. Now personally, I think LEGO Dimensions is the best of all the Toys to Life games, and also one of the best TT LEGO games of all time. While yes, it did have a lot of glitches and game-breaking bugs, such as inaccessible gold bricks on the 360 version, which meant that it was physically impossible for 12-year-old me to 100% the game. I wish someone had told me that 10 years ago. However, the game was also just so fun. Like, where else could you get Homer Simpson chilling with Bubblegum and Ethan Hunt in Middle Earth? The game was so great, so why did it actually fail? Well, the plain answer is just that not enough people were buying it. The game's costs were so high as well. Just imagine what those licensing fees would have been like. Combining all of those big name franchises would not have been cheap. But what I want to discuss now, compared to any previous videos that I've done on this amazing game, is to ask a simple question. Did LEGO Dimensions actually fail? You're going to have to humor me for a second here, but if LEGO Dimensions' purpose was to give us a ton of new themes in LEGO form, let's look at what themes that were born in Dimensions actually were turned into LEGO sets or full themes entirely. We saw the Wizard of Oz get its cast turned into minifigures in the LEGO Movie 2 CMF line, we saw a Ghostbusters 2 set, an Adventure Time buildable character set. Fantastic Beasts also had a full lineup of sets. Gremlins recently won the 80s themed LEGO Ideas competition, as well as Goonies, which means these themes will be returning to LEGO sometime in the future. And as I said before, Sonic is now a thriving LEGO theme of its own, and the Powerpuff Girls, while short-lived, was a theme at some point. What is even more interesting here though, are the franchises that were meant to be released in LEGO Dimensions' third year, but got cancelled. And looking at which of these themes are actually existing in LEGO today, as just last week we learnt some more news related directly to this. First is Despicable Me, which we've seen lots of sets for, as well as for one of the Minions movies. We had How to Train Your Dragon, which just got this, in my opinion, pretty crappy Toothless set revealed the other day, which it still counts. We then got a full Looney Tunes CMS series. We had the Tom and Jerry Brickheads released this year, and now the two most recent themes that just got accepted in the latest LEGO Ideas review were a set based on Tintin, as well as sets based on Godzilla. This goes to show that LEGO Dimensions is still having pull today. With these pre-existing relationships that were probably formed between LEGO and these franchises for this game, they're actually slowly starting to come back and give us sets based on these amazing IPs. One last point that I'd like to touch on is something that many of you have been asking me to cover in the comments, and this is LEGO Fortnite essentially becoming LEGO Dimensions. Now, if you don't know, Fortnite has a ton of collabs where skins get added to the game and you can play as characters from a whole range of popular franchises, like Squid Games is getting added, I think, in the coming week. But since LEGO's partnership with Epic Games and the creation of LEGO Fortnite, a Minecraft-like survival game that's within Fortnite, some, but not all, of these franchises are actually being translated over to LEGO Fortnite 2, showing that the two brands must still have some level of a working relationship. Some of the existing Dimensions franchises that have found their way into LEGO Fortnite are things like Adventure Time, Teen Titans, and of course DC Superheroes. However, continuing on from what was leaked to be coming in year 3 of the game, we got Pirates of the Caribbean and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which both made their way over. But maybe most interestingly was Avatar: The Last Airbender, which had LEGO sets in 2006, which all but retired by the end of 2007, literally almost 20 years ago. So what am I trying to say here? Well, essentially, LEGO Dimensions was such a great game, and I wish it never died, but what is so interesting to me is that it seems as though this game had really great consequences for the future of LEGO, and that if the discussions and planning around cancelled content in this game didn't exist, we may have never got some of the best new LEGO sets, or in Sonic's case, an entire theme in general. So please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this discussion. Also, please subscribe to help us reach our goal of 30,000, and I'll see you in the next one.